Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Institute for Personal Development, where total consciousness is the new frontier. Kriya Yoga is the union of the individual with the divine. Join us as we explore the practices that initiate this process.
Good morning. Welcome to the Voice of Yoga. Let's Talk Consciousness. I am your hostess, Lisa Winton, and with me is Kenny Toy, also known as Swami Jayananda, founder of Institute for Personal Development, located here in Hampton, New Hampshire. Good morning, Swami. Thank you for being here today. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. And I want to thank you listeners for tuning in. Today on The Voice of Yoga, we will be talking about the new year and how it can be a wonderful time to start a new life. We will discuss the power of the mind and how it can be used to create changes in our reality. Swami will explain some of the Kriya Yoga concepts about the mind and the chakra system and how to use resolutions as affirmations with clear intentions. The best way to create your future is to create it. Resolutions are thoughts with specific intentions. How we think is what we become. Join the Kriya Yoga Spiritual Advance to get the light in your soul to help give your thoughts the power of intention. All right, Swami, so let's get us started. I know I want to start my new year just right, so let's talk about the power of the mind and how we can use it to create changes in our reality.
Yeah, the formula that we work with has always been how we think is what we become. So our minds are actually the infrastructure for which our reality conforms to. So it's this inner subjective state that causes the outside world to actually respond to us. And the more you understand that reality isn't just the inward movement of light, but is the outward projection of the image, that everything in the universe is on this pulse of going from subject to object, object to subject, that this ebb and flow that is constantly taking place is how we're experiencing life. And the more we understand how our minds work, and that's one of the reasons why we really like to use the chakra system in yoga. It's very similar to how a prism will take white light and break it down into 7 different colors, that your chakra system takes the pure light of consciousness and breaks it out into these 7 different energy converters, and then it kind of shapes our reality for us. So the more you're accustomed to working with that, then the more accustomed you are to asking for what you want, basically, and actually creating the reality that you want.
I know you have said in the past that everything that is happening to us is something that is driven by a thought. So is that what you're talking about? So like my world right now as it is because I have a thought somewhere, whether it's conscious, unconscious, or superconscious, and that's what's driving that force. So if I was to make a New Year's resolution, it's that thought that's going to power it?
Well, to answer your question, a thought has the possibility to change it. But one of the things that we always say is that thought is an energy and it is capable of producing effects, but it's all measurable based on the amount of strength we emit our thoughts with. So one of the variables that you work with to try and understand how we're creating reality is belief. That belief is what will give a thought the power of intention. If you emit the same thought with the burden of doubt, it will just dribble off. Whereas if you emit a thought with the power of intention, with belief, then it does have the ability to affect changes in your reality.
I was just thinking about, isn't there a book about the train and he goes up the hill and it's, I think I can, and then I know I can. Is that kind of what you mean? So it's like if we have the thought or something that we visualize that we want, like you said earlier, it's all depends on how much we believe it to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. And the more you understand how the Kriya Yoga works is that by literally using what you need to produce the feeling that you're happy, you actually give yourself a platform that you live from that gives you confidence. If your body is constantly searching and looking for something for validation, then there's an awful lot of doubt. And a lot of times, a lot of us are just looking for the placebo effect, just something to believe in. So I can emit a thought with the power of intention. Whereas in this practice, you rebirth your body in the life force. So you have the belief that you're good enough because every time you take a breath, it reinforces a feeling in your body that you are happy, that you're special, that you're good enough, that you're connected to something that's pure, powerful, and sacred. And so that gives you, I want to say, the platform that you would work from in this model. And then, of course, the next part of the whole thing is what we'll talk about today, is this whole thing of asking for what we want. And to do that, because programming the mind with like one or two intentions is okay, but it doesn't address all of the departments in life. It doesn't address all of the facets of the mind. And so one of the tools that we use is the labyrinth. And the diagram that we use for our logo to explain how our chakra system works, so that you're actually programming all of the departments in your life, and you're doing it in a way that will produce the outcome that would be desirable. How we ask for what we want is also an important part in the formula.
I know we have talked about this concept of desire. So if we're not desiring the right thing, is that going to have an effect on what it is that we ask for? Because we always say, you have to desire the nothing, the void. But what if I desire a new outfit? I mean, I don't know. On sale even. Obviously my desire is in the wrong thing. Maybe I need to have a new outfit. Maybe I don't. But the idea is we have to think twice about what it is that we desire. I mean, that would make sense to me anyway.
Yeah, it gets kind of tricky as you start to examine it, but it's all a question of priorities. And, just like you said, I mean, at what point do you need a new outfit? If you don't get the new outfit, you're not going to die. And so a big part of, having your priorities in order and understanding the importance and the difference between a need and a want is really valuable here. So that you have what you need and you can ask for what you want. And when your whole sense of self is totally established in what you need, you have your priorities straight. Then a new outfit, independent of what your circumstance is always going to be a want. Mm-hmm. Now you can ask for it with the power of intention because it's not a need. And I think the point that you're talking about is what we desire is of the utmost importance, because that comes down to the Kriya Yoga aspect. Do I desire particles? Do I desire waves? Or do I desire the void or the nothing? That will determine your level of consciousness, your degree of awareness. That will determine your nature. Those are different things to address. Because if you desire particles, you can ask for whatever you want and you can get things. But it will never enable you to grow psychologically and spiritually.
So I'm thinking that there may be a situation where, maybe I really do need to have a new pair of boots. Maybe my old ones are broken or the soles are rubbed off or whatever. So it doesn't really become necessarily a want, that can become a need. So we just have to be able to have this intelligence to be able to figure that out.
Well, again, to answer your question, it's never a need. I mean, what determines a need is that if you don't get it, you die. It's a want, and until you really have totally established your values to the degree that you understand the difference between a need and a want, and you have prioritized your needs in their order of importance so that you're using what you really do need as a symbol for validation, that's what gives you the platform to move forward with.
I'm wondering, is this time of the year, like the New Year's resolutions, did this come about? Is there anything cosmically about resolutions that that we have fallen into this pattern of having these resolutions like right after the holidays? Is it something because we have this new year, so we think it's a new beginning, and therefore we can slough off all of the stuff that happened in the previous year, and now we can move on and do all those things this coming year that we didn't get to last year? I'm just wondering, is there anything that is going on astrologically, in this month that creates that need for us to do that?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you're saying. It's we've somehow determined that this would be the new year, and so it's a new beginning. Ring out the old, bring in the new, and what the origins of that are, and astrologically what creates that, I'm not 100% sure. What January 1st means, as far as that is concerned. But I still, independent of how it began, I still think it's a great idea to be able to have a do-over and to have something where you can start to refresh your life. And here's an opportunity. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that we are now offering the life-building plan from our website, that if you're interested in the Kriya Yoga Life Building Plan, that we have the file available, that you can go to the website and you can get it. And if you're not familiar with the labyrinth, at least you'll have all of the different departments of your life laid out for you. And if you're not sure how the chakra system works, then at least you'll address the 12 different departments of your life.
Yeah, that's actually very cool. I encourage all of our listeners to check that out. It's very helpful and kind of streamlines your ability to put things in order. So my next question to you, we have spoken before, you have mentioned before about everything that's happening at the same time, all at once. So say, like you said, we want to have a do-over of last year. If we think and we put our minds to changing whatever it is for, this next year coming up, how does that work? Can we actually change what had happened before to set us up for the next year?
Well, I think we can. It requires good planning. It requires, again, a lot of belief in what you're doing. And then, again, asking for what you want. And a lot of it sometimes is we have to understand retribution. You have to understand the law of karma, that what we've put out is what we're getting back. And that's one of the reasons why the 12th house is such a valuable resource that we have. It's the house of undoing. It's our ability to undo things that have actually happened. And so, but one of the things you'll find is reversing things that have happened is way more difficult than preventing them to happen in the beginning. That's one of the reasons why an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
All right, great. Well, I think we're going to hold that thought and pause to hear a word from our sponsor. So listeners, we'll be back with you in a few moments, and if you have any questions for Swami, you can be ready to ask him at that time. So we'll return shortly.
If you are looking for a Samadhi-based experience, IPD Kriya Yoga has the goods. A complete yoga program that includes the practices and the process. Kriya Yoga Series 1 live classes and videos. Get your arms around the spiritual science of Kriya Yoga.
The intention of why we practice is to embody spirit, to feel connected to the life force.
Kriya Yoga Asana live classes and videos. A cosmically engineered system of exercises to initiate apotheosis. A system of exercises engineered for dining and dancing at the cosmic ballroom. Kriya Yoga Series 2 live classes and videos. A practice in open forum designed to facilitate positive growth of consciousness. Get your Labyrinth video.
I find the positive side of it is it pulls a lot of things together.
Kriya Yoga mantra and meditation. With repetition comes absorption. Pray on prana and become divine.
At the same time, we all have a unique talent and gift to give back to the universe.
Private sessions. The mysteries of the universe have always been handed down verbally from teacher to student. Call or click now and get started. 603-929-0303 or www.ipdtransform.com. Namaste.
And welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Voice of Yoga, and we are talking consciousness. So at this time, if you have a question for Swami, you can go ahead and you can ask it, and ask it right now. Okay, well, Swami, I have a question back at the chakra system, and you were saying that our chakra system, we can use that to help us with the departments of our lives. What is it that we can do physically that can assist the chakra system? Because I know, like, through my Reiki training and so on and so forth, we did certain exercises to help open up the chakra system. What is it that Kriya Yoga can do on the physical level, and then to enable to be able to work on the mental level?
Well, in Kriya Yoga we do asana. We have a physical exercises that we actually do that have all of that intention built into it, that postures have procedure and intention. And the more you understand, you start to understand the relationship between your body and your mind, that when you put yourself in a particular position, your mind will bring up certain thoughts. And the more you understand that relationship, the easier it is sometimes for you to change your thoughts. And that's one of the things that we do in our asana practice, is we examine the physical body. And we look for things like pain, discomfort, instability. And then the next part of it is you look in your mind for debilitating thoughts. Fear, anger, negativity. And you link them. Then, of course, if you find a particular undesirable thought, then you turn your mind to your creativity, your imagination, and you replace it with a new positive image. And then while you're doing the practice, the intention is to consciously bring the new image into the body. And then through repetition comes absorption. So you actually visualize whatever it is that you want and internalize it in the body. And then eventually it's kind of like when you're working on a computer and you're changing a document. Now, if you worked a half hour on a document and you made all kinds of changes, and when it asked you to save it and you said no, then when you opened up the document, all of your hard work is gone. So a big part of learning how to format cellular memory, how to change the pattern of the body, and also understanding the relationship between your body and your mind, so that more and more you start to see. It's almost like when I do web design, that the program I use gives me the ability to look at design view and code view. Design view, you're looking at pictures, you're looking at words, and everything looks pretty. When you go to code view, it's just all text. And that's the way the mind and the body work together.
We had this saying in the massage world, and it was, you're only as healthy as your spine is flexible, because they believed that your chakra system obviously is energetic wheels that run, along the spinal column, and if you had physical or muscular problems along the spine, that would in turn have an effect on the chakra that it was associated with. So when you tell us in a sauna class to work from a position of stability and comfort, it's that comfort that helps change the cells in the body.
Well, comfort is what makes your body receptive. And the whole thing of the concept of the association between, say, for example, nerve plexus and endocrine glands that have always been kind of associated with your chakras is an interesting association. But your chakra system is in the astral body. It's not in the physical body. You don't cut somebody open and there's Muladhara chakra. But there are physical manifestations that are giving you clues as to where these are, how they reside in the mind. And then as you start programming your chakras. And when you do that with your resolutions, with your affirmations, you use positive images. The universe does not understand the negative, and so your thoughts should always be in the image of whatever it is that you want the outcome to be.
Well, I want to get back to resolutions again. You just mentioned that word again. Why is it that a lot of folks out there are making these New Year's resolutions and then they fail? the resolutions, whatever they wanted to do, whether it's a new diet or a new job, whatever it might be, why is it that they fail, and how is it that we can make sure that whatever we want for resolution, that we stay on this path?
Again, adherence, I think, requires a plan other than a wish kind of a thing, that I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go to the gym come January 1st, and that's one of the things I always remember being at the gym and what we used to call the resolutions, because between January 1st and like January 15th, you can't get a parking spot at the gym. And then all of a sudden, all the resolutions start to wane. And then it goes back to the normal, the people that are accustomed to going to the gym on a regular basis. Then you get your parking spot. So adherence is something that, again, when you have a complete holistic health management system like Kriya Yoga, you're employing strategies that do develop willpower, and you're developing your psychological organs so that you do have adherence to whatever it is that you're doing, and you're actually strengthening your psychological organs by adhering to whatever it is that you intended to do. You have follow-up.
So it does take a disciplined mind to be able to make that resolution change.
And also you have to change the pattern of the body. Like, again, one of the things we always talk about, the 4 major obstructions to enlightenment, and one of them is laziness. And, of course, prana brings enthusiasm to overcome laziness. And also this whole sense of purpose kind of fuels adherence.
I know you say all the time about we don't want to be senselessly optimistic, so maybe we should apply that, that thought behind any resolutions that we might make for the coming year.
Yeah, now that's the whole thing of being intelligent. And again, learning how to use your psychological organs, learning how to take consideration for consequences. But also, the element of purity that we talk about in yoga, our ability to think, feel, say, and do one and the same thing, to actually be able to have focus, and so that when you have follow-up with what you said you were going to do, that's the essence of the Kriya Yoga practice.
I will thank you for that. And I guess it's time to start closing down our program today. So in closing, I'd like to invite you listeners out there to visit the website. You can follow us on Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook, of course. Also available are the online classes available to you that you can access through the website, www.ipdtransform.com. Just click on the link for the online classes, and it will direct you to Powwow, and from there you can make your selection. But do keep those comments, questions, and curiosities coming, because Swami does enjoy hearing from you. And be sure to tune in next week. I'm sure we'll have a great program scheduled for you. So, Swami, any final thoughts or comments about our discussion today?
Well, I would like to wish everybody a happy New Year and a really great start on this new year with some really good resolutions, and check out that life-building file that we have for organizing your resolutions. And with that, I'll wish everybody a good day. Namaste. And thank you for listening to our program, The Voice of Yoga.
This is Lisa Winton along with Swami Jayananda signing off. Have a wonderful Kriya Yoga kind of day. Namaste.